listening, and we offer variety of accent. Our listening test has American accent, British accent, and Australian. It's not one accent heavy. We don't expect candidates to have subject knowledge, and in our test, every conversation is played twice. That's the inherent part of the test. Listening part 2 has 5 short conversations, and the USP is that every conversation has 2 questions. This is the section where a candidate can score more, and the answers to the questions appear in the order the candidates hear to the conversation. There is enough preparation time. That's 15 seconds to read the questions, and all the questions are multiple choice questions. And as you can see, I would like to zoom a little bit. There is always a context. The context helps a candidate to understand the register, which really helps the candidate to get higher scores. When a candidate goes abroad for higher education, is expected to talk to tutor, is expected to talk to accommodation officer or maybe librarian. And in our conversations, we make sure that the candidate understands variety of academic context. Listening part 3 is a monologue. There are 7 gaps on the test day. On the screen, the questions look like this. In this, the candidate gets 30 seconds to read the blanks and in advance, and then mark. In this particular section, the whole idea is to check whether the candidate can identify and segregate between main idea and this detail or not. Candidates understand the conversation, which has dense information, and should be in a position to differentiate between relevant information and irrelevant information. And in our listening test, the whole idea is to see whether the candidate can comprehend the progression, can get the main idea or not. And the very fact that the candidate gets to listen to the conversation twice allows him to score better. Now, as a test takers, the test takers should remember that they listen to the conversation twice and capitalize on this. They should use the first listening to answer many questions, and the second to complete the response if they could not complete, or maybe they can review their work. Second listening can be used to review and check the responses. And in every question type, there is enough time to read in advance. So the stress to read in advance and the hassle is taken care. The answers to the questions appear in a particular order, and the candidate must make sure that he or she familiarizes himself with the official resources. It's interesting to share that we have around 8 test papers free of cost available on the website. And if you need more resources and if you need more assistance with resources, please talk to Sami, he'll guide you. Second section is reading comprehension. Our reading comprehension has 4 parts. Again, the duration of reading comprehension is 50 minutes, and then we have 30 questions. Part 1 and B has questions around vocabulary and lexicogrammatical features. In this to see whether the candidate can understand academic vocabulary or not. Second section is more about understanding the sentence structure. there is a short text, sentences have been removed, it's a kind of gap fill, and in this we want to see whether the candidate can understand the progression or not. Part 3 has 4 paragraphs which with a common theme, and the whole idea is that the candidate is able to understand the purpose and locate specific information. The beauty of our test lies in the fact that all passages are around real life context. The candidate is able to engage with the text and get the desired score. Also, the question types are very commonly practiced in school, college, or university, so they don't have any trouble in getting acquainted. Last on the list, the reading passage 4 is a long passage. It has 6 multiple choice questions. Questions, and we have a fair idea of what exactly the reading test looks like.
Rashmi, we cannot read it. I am sure participants are not able to read it. If you can put this on presentation mode, I think they be able
I think on the presentation mode, I think, Sami, I'm not accustomed to the Google Meet because we usually do it on Teams.
I can understand, yes.
Can you see? Can people see now? I don't think so. So I don't know how to work on the
if you just
Google.
At the bottom of your right side, if you can just increase it, zoom, you can zoom from the bottom. Yes, it's a 75%.
From bottom.
Yes,
when
yes.
This one.
Yeah, right side.
Yes.
Naveed bhai, is it possible that we can have a recording of all this later?
Yes, you can.
I think definitely the presentation is a little, it's really hard to understand, and we need, many other people might need that recording further. So we can...
Okay, we will share the recording as well as we will share the presentation to you people.
So the audience at the moment, they might go with the flow. Please carry on, man. I think we might listen to you better in that way.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Because Sami, I am not great at Google.
No, I can understand because normally, we normally use MS Teams and Zoom.
Okay. So this is part 1A. In this, the candidate is expected to choose the correct word to replace the highlighted words. And some of the words are in bold. The candidate is expected to replace that word in the bold from the given options. Part 1 is a gap fill. The candidate is expected to read a gap text and choose the correct answers. And there are 3 options. There are 5 questions. Session 1 has altogether 11 questions. And if the candidate doesn't understand a particular word, we highly recommend him to still attempt because there is no negative marking. It's not a computer adaptive test. It is marked by human raters, and listening and reading is auto-scored. Part 2. Part 2 looks like this. There is a short text, and then few sentences have been removed. The candidate has to read the text, and then there is a choice of 8 sentences, and there are 6 gaps. That means there are 2 extra options given to the candidate. The good practice is to read the whole text first, including the title, so that the candidate gets a fair idea about the topic, and then should fill in the gap sentences. This is only possible if the candidate is able to locate keywords. This particular question type is to check whether the candidate understands the progression or not. With the help of transition words and discourse markers, candidate will be able to do this question type. And then, of course, we want them to pick important words, especially the keywords. Reading passage 4 is the only text which is long, but it is than the text people get in IELTS reading. The candidate is suggested to quickly read through 6 questions so to understand what is asked, what exactly the question is asking. Then the test taker needs to identify keywords in each question and go to the text. It's important to read the text thoroughly, but in case if the candidate doesn't understand few words and few lines here and there, it's okay. We're not checking candidates' subject knowledge. We just want to see whether he can engage with the text and identify the main idea and supporting idea. Now, for reading comprehension, it is imperative that the candidate develops the ability to skim and scan the long text. And a good practice is to read any given text once, first to get a main idea, to get the sense of the passage. If a candidate gets stuck with individual words, they should not worry. They should not fret small stuff. They should still try to mark the answer and make sense from the text, because the answer doesn't lie in that one particular word. Not knowing one particular word is not a hindrance to the overall comprehension. Now, the test takers must answer all the questions, and the answers to the questions are in the same order. The information flows in the text. This is the third module. In this particular module, we expect candidates to write a report that's for 150 to 200 words, and it has to be a formal piece of writing responding appropriately to the given input. And it's important that the language used is appropriately formal. Part 2 is essay writing. The candidate is expected to write on an academic subject about 250 words. On the exam day, the task looks like this. The candidate gets an infographic. This is like part 1 of IELTS examination. Our writing is closest to what people get in IELTS writing. There are no changes except the fact that our report writing, our first task is more aligned to today's real world scenarios. Today, data is used to make informed decisions. Data is used to make predictions. Data is used to understand the trends. So in our writing task, we have this instruction that the candidate is expected to predict what will happen in future. And we recommend people to practice language for identifying important trends and extracting information from the charts and infographics. The tone and language of this particular task needs to be formal and neutral. There should be impersonal tone. Essay writing is the second task. For writing module, we have 50 minutes. The duration of writing is 50 minutes, and the timer is there. In this, the candidate is expected to produce an essay of approximately 250 words. We don't use this terminology negative marking, but we highly recommend people to follow the word limit, because this is assessed as task achievement. We have a marking criteria which expects candidate to write at least 250 words. And now the candidates need to be mindful that the statement given is a balanced statement presenting two opposing views on a controversial topic. So we recommend people to discuss both the views and give opinion. It's a persuasive essay, so the candidates should not forget that they practice language of argument. And in their response, they should address both views, compare and contrast, give definitions, do evaluation, and show cause and effect relationship. Now, the test takers must remember that part 1 carries 40% of the total marks and part 2 carries 60% of the total marks. So, and then it is divided. Both the task needs to be divided 50 minutes. And they are expected to read the instructions clearly, brainstorm and analyze the questions so that their response is meaningful. End of the test, the test takers must compose their responses and type them on the screen. A good typing practice can be really life-saving and give them high scores. The test takers must practice writing the numbers of words. They should be aware of their word limit, how much they write for 150, how much they write for 250. Last not the least, we don't encourage extra writing. We don't encourage the students write 400 words or 200 words for part one, because there are no extra marks for writing extra words. In fact, the candidate needs to be aware that there is no digression and the topic is not, the response does not distort the meaning of the topic. Before I go to the speaking, I know I have been quickly going through all modules. Any questions? I can read some questions. Sami, before we go to speaking, let's have a look at the questions.
Yeah, I've been answering questions in chat. Mr. Muiz, he raised his hand. Mr. Muiz, you have any question? You raised your hand since the start of this webinar.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Zishan, you can ask your question, please.
So this is a question around ESOL communicator, Sami, in the chat box. It's not related to LanguageCert. Do you mind answering?
Yeah, sure. I was actually writing the answer. In Australia, only center-based LanguageCert academic test is acceptable. For other parts like New Zealand, UK, and other countries, LanguageCert ESOL is acceptable. But LanguageCert ESOL CELT, we have A1, A2, and B1 version. But from B2, LanguageCert ESOL CELT is replaced by LanguageCert Academic Set.
Naveed bhai, I have a question.
Can I
Please
ask?
go ahead.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Naveed bhai, previously, if I am not mistaken, that we were having only one version of CELT regarding LanguageCert. Center-based test was only one, variant. Is it like that? Now we do have general CELT and academic CELT. Is it right?
Yes, Sami, please
Can
reply
you-
the questions
Sure.
because you are presiding. Yes, please.
Yeah. Sure.
Sami bhai, can you hear me properly?
I can.
As far as I understand that previously we did have exactly one variant. We were having one sort of CELT at the center. But now what I am understanding that we do have two different flavors. One is academic and one is general CELT. Is it like that?
Yes, we have different variants available or different tests available. We still have non-CELT ESOL B2 communicator, which students can take at home or can take at the test center. But this LanguageCert academic test, it's a multi-level test. In this test, we cover from B1 to C2. So it's a multi-level test, and this is acceptable by most of the higher education institutions around the world and by government, like Department of Home Affairs. They have accepted and added LanguageCert academic test for all visa types in Australia.
I would like to add to this. There are different tests available. But for Australia, only LanguageCert Academic is available.
Ma'am, actually, Sami bhai, this is a bit confusing for other audience as well. You are saying for all visa, but the thing is, all type of visa, not like that. I think the work visa required general CELT. Is it like that?
No, in Australia, sir, we are focusing on Australia in this webinar. For Australia, for all visa types, for living, for studying, for working, only LanguageCert academic is acceptable, which students or any professional can take it at the center.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Most welcome. So for other places, they can take general
Excuse
training
me,
as this
Zishan, you
was.
have excuse me, Zishan, if you have any question, please ask. Otherwise, you
Yes,
can. Yes,
yes,
please.
please. Thank you. Uh, Before this webinar, I was doing a little research on LanguageCert. So I have gone through your website as well. We have the practice material over there, but it's not enough for students. And also, I try to search in YouTube or all other resources where I can find the practice material. So, can you please guide us for the resources? Is there any book available like IELTS, or how a student can prepare for the test?
Sami, I would like to address this question, and later on you can share the links of books and all in the chat box. Maybe the link of at least the website. To begin with, we have a book of practice papers which has 4 papers. Plus, there are 3 papers which are available in the printable format. So there are 7 test papers which can be downloaded easily and practice. Then we have a test simulator that gives a fair idea of the test, that how the actual test day, how the test looks like and how it functions. Then we have a digital test. There are questions for listening, reading, writing, and speaking. There are responses for writing and speaking. For listening and reading, there are auto correct responses. The candidate can get to know whether my answer is correct or incorrect. And very recently, we have launched our interactive question bank. This particular question bank has close to 300 questions, and then there are 2 digital papers. So if you go through the website, you will see there are exhaustive resources, and we have sample responses for writing with examiner comments. Then we have lesson plans for trainers. Most importantly, we have videos for speaking with examiner comments. So these are quite sufficient for a new person or a test taker to understand what it takes to score high in LanguageCert Academic test. And of course, we are a newer test. We're working on resources, and eventually we will add more resources. But at this given point of time, candidate has 8 test papers plus the interactive question bank.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for your interesting questions. Moving forward, going to speaking. Our test is around real life scenarios. In speaking, we have part 1, 2, 3, and 4. In part 1, there are warm-up and interview questions. It is only for 3 minutes. Role play is for 2 minutes. In the role play, the candidate is given different situations and scenarios, and he is expected to use different language functions. In part 3, we have read aloud, and the candidate is expected to do 2 follow-up questions. This is 4 minutes. Frankly speaking, we have picked best of all the words, and our speaking is conducted by a live interlocutor. This is one-on-one speaking. The duration is 14 minutes. Part 4 is presentation, and the candidate is expected to give some follow-up answers. That's for 5 minutes. Speaking part 1 looks like this. There are 5 questions from 5 different topics. It's majorly about a candidate, what he has to introduce himself, talk about family, talk about likes and dislikes, preferences. And we highly recommend that the candidate doesn't answer in one word and should try to justify his or her responses. Part 2 is the candidate gets different cards. There are different scenarios. There is an interlocutor. The interlocutor initiates the first conversation. There is a scenario like this. We are in the same course, and we are not able to meet. We are not able to identify a book. So how to identify the book? And in this particular question type, we expect candidates to use appropriate tone and register. This simply means we want to use a variety of language functions and use both formal, semi-formal English, depending on the nature of the task and situation. We expect candidates to initiate the conversations so they can begin. Only in our test, the candidate has opportunity to ask 1 or 2 questions from the interlocutor. Part 3 is read aloud. We don't check candidates' accent. We understand the test takers are not native speakers. We expect them to speak clearly. The scores, this particular section contributes to oral fluency, pronunciation, intonations. The test taker gets 20 seconds preparation time to skim read the text. They are expected to pay attention to the punctuation and speak at a natural pace. Not to forget, the aim is they should aim for fluency and flow. And even if they don't understand a particular word, they should try speaking. And the follow-up question doesn't check students' knowledge on the subject, but we just want to see whether they can build some interaction or not. Remember, the comprehension is not assessed. So the task 4 looks like this. The candidate gets a stimulus, gets 1 minute time to prepare. They can take notes to organize main ideas. They should practice talking for 2 minutes, and then they should have some sense of the length, how much they are speaking, when they should stop the response, and then they should practice extracting key information from the infographics. So in case the candidate doesn't understand the question or is having a doubt about the question, it's a good practice to ask for help. They can always ask the interlocutor to repeat the question. They're not penalized for it. In our test, there is no scope of bias because the candidate cannot see the interlocutor. The candidate can listen to the interlocutor, but interlocutor can look at the candidate. Now, the test taker should learn turn-taking techniques, how to give personal information, how to express views. Last not the least, prior to the test date, the candidates must practice a lot, record themselves, and take mock test papers from the interactive question bank. Coming to assessment marking, the scores look like this. Each question has equal weightage. Each section has same significance. Listening section 1 has 7 marks. Listening section 2 has 10 marks. Listening section 3 has 7 marks. And listening section 4 is for 6 marks. Overall, a candidate gets scores out of 100 points, and he's expected to, usually the candidate is expected to score anything between 60 to 74. Sami, you may like to take a screenshot and share it with everyone in the chat. This is a very useful slide.
Sure.
And, for any candidate who wishes to score around 6 band or 6 plus, should at least do 15 to 21 questions correct. This will, out of 30, this will lead to high scores. For reading comprehension, all sections are auto-marked. The raw score is 30. Reading part 1 is 6 points, part 1B 5 marks, reading part 2 is 6 marks, reading part 3 is 7 marks, reading part 4 is 6 marks. And in order to get a 6 above, or if a candidate aims at getting a 7 band, the candidate is expected to do at least 21 questions correct out of 30. So it's a range of 21 to 26 questions. Lastly, marking criteria for writing. We assess candidates for task fulfillment, accuracy and range of grammar, accuracy and range of vocabulary, organization and coherence. For each point, we have 8 pointers. It is for 8 points, total 32 marks. And 32 marks for task 2. As I have mentioned before, 40% of overall marks are allocated to task 1 and 60% to task 2. And the grades are established by adding together scores on both the task and then averaging. And on the score sheet, the overall mark for writing is awarded, not the individual. And that's the marking criteria for speaking, task fulfillment and communicative effect, coherence, accuracy and range of grammar, accuracy and range of vocabulary, pronunciation, intonation, and fluency. Each criteria is out of 8 points. There are 2 interlocutors involved in the assessments. The first criteria, task fulfillment and communicative effect, is marked by interlocutor because that person takes the live interview. The second examiner marks the other criteria. The interlocutor for the gives marks on the spot, and these marks, the first criteria is double weighted. For example, if a candidate gets 8 points, 8 on 8 in task fulfillment and communicative effect, then his score will become 16. Maximum raw marks awarded in speaking 48, and then these scores are converted to a scale score that corresponds to the CFR levels. So the candidate gets raw scores, these raw scores are converted to scale scores. The most important thing, support material, I mentioned. For everything we have, everything is available on website. If you want to know more about acceptance, you can go to the website. If you want to know how to register the preparatory trips, other papers, manuals, if you want to know about teacher support and webinars, one can actually go to the website and access that. These are some important resources which are available on the website, and all these resources are free of cost. So we have test overview videos, sample speaking test videos. I've already mentioned we have 3 official papers, then book of practice papers. Then there are preparation tips for candidates, lesson plans, FAQs, and most importantly, we have a qualification handbook. This talks about the syllabus to be covered in classes. A lot of times trainers have asked me in previous TTTs that what should I teach if the candidate is A1 level, or what should be the curriculum for grammar for B1 and B2 level candidates. So all of this is available in qualification handbook. You may like to scan this, the teacher resources. This will simply take you to the website. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your patience. And now the house is open for questions.
Yes,
Samir,
Mr.
I have a
Usman.
question. I
Yes,
have a
sir.
question about the LanguageCert Academic and LanguageCert CELT Academic. Is the both exam are acceptable in Australia for all visas?
Yes, both
Yes.
are acceptable. Yes. Yes. If any student or professional has taken LanguageCert Academic CELT, it is acceptable. Yes. Yes. Someone
No,
Usman Saab has sent Sham
नवीद भाई
Ahmed
जरा सवाल
and Usman
सवाल
Saab.
अपना रिपीट कीजिएगा नवीद भाई.
Yes, I would like
Actually,
to ask.
LanguageCert Academic have two types. One is LanguageCert Academic and the other one is LanguageCert Academic CELT. For
Sir,
all
the
visas,
exam is same. Let me highlight the exam is CELT is just a security measure. So you know the CELT, when we talk about IELTS UKVI, it is the extra security measure. The exam is same, the paper is same. So when you talk about LanguageCert Academic CELT and LanguageCert Academic, the exam is 100% same. It's just the security measures in CELT are slightly different.
high stake test center. So I would like to share some information about the Australia, that how LanguageCert is valuable and how we can, it is a useful as compared to other test providers, because in Australia and the UK, the both markets are very much different. In the UK, there are multiple online tests available. There are MOI systems available for the students. So in Australia, there are only secure test providers are acceptable. So in this way, we should particularly emphasize you people that you should consider the LanguageCert as compared how it is useful for your candidates who already attempt, maybe they attempt in multiple exams, but they cannot achieve their scores. I would like to give us some information just on Australia. Just a moment, please.
Meanwhile, I would like to ask a question because I was not able to join the meeting, the webinar in time. If it's okay, I would like to ask a question regarding ESOL.
Yes, please, but it will be more convenient if you ask your question at the end of session.
Not a problem.
Oh,
Not a
thank
problem.
you. Thank you. So LanguageCert Academic is acceptable from 7th of August 2025 for all UK visas. The visa types mostly used in for offshore student or a student who belongs from Pakistan. These are student visas, skilled immigration visas, and as well as graduate visas and 476 and work permits. So the language, all your candidates who are interested to apply any type of Australia visa, the LanguageCert Academic is a solution for these, or all candidates who come in your training center and come in your office for a study permits. So the next, regarding the universities, all universities in different areas are accept the LanguageCert Academic. So you can identify if your student have any particular priority area wise. You can find a multiple universities and colleges who accept the LanguageCert Academic to meet the entry requirement of your students area wise, and as well as these universities offer multiple courses, and the exam is acceptable in these areas as well as the courses. The next, LanguageCert, it was already detailed mentioned by my colleague, and it's another slide that if someone is a need a 6 band, then he or she needs only 57 in a LanguageCert. So it's a slide regarding seven. If someone need an overall 7 band, he need a 75, and if someone need for a skilled immigration purposes 8 overall, then he or she need a 87 in LanguageCert academic exams. And the next one, the most important, is the LanguageCert exam is achievable and flexible as compared to other exams. We can register the exam just 24 hours prior to the exam. There's a no delay or no late or wait. So the candidate book exam just 24 hours before even you can book exam within just a few hours ago in the same just a 1 day before that exam date. Maybe if you can book the exam till before the 12 p.m. of that 1 day before the exam. So it's a very flexible to choose a date. The result will be announced in 5 days. Is a speaking and writing is already discussed, and the most important thing, it's listening. Listening already we discussed that it's revised twice by the system, so it gives an extra opportunity to the candidate to achieve that desired score. As well as the speaking is also very flexible. It's the multiple people are already working with the LanguageCert International eSol, and they know how the listening and speaking is useful for the candidates. The next, the LanguageCert Academic for all the candidates who will just appear in the exams before 31st of December. We will offer the exam in 30,000 PKRs including taxes. So it's an extraordinary opportunity to facilitate the agents as well as the training centers. We will give you the offer exam in just 30,000 PKR including the taxes, and we will offer 5 free exams to agents and the training centers, and we will send the email about it shortly to all the participants. So thank you very much from my side, and if you people have any question, you can ask.
And Naveed bhai,
Naveed
I
sir?
do have a question.
Sir, I have a question. So is all celt and is all center base same है?
मैं इसका आंसर कर देता हूँ. असद साहब, yes, I basically.
समी भाई आप ही आंसर करें. कोई particular question होगा तो जी आप करें please.
Sure. Basically, I am getting, and I will be answering 2 questions. One is this, that eSol Celt and eSol Center based are same. We basically have 3 versions of the tests available. One is online, which you can take it at your ease at your home. Second one is at non-Celt test center. Third one is at the Celt center. As my colleague Rashmi informed you, that the difference between Celt and non-Celt is at the Celt center, which is monitored by the trained proctors, and then will be monitored by LanguageCert team, will be monitored by UK Home Office team. So at the non-Celt center, it will be monitored by the trained center team and the LanguageCert. So Celt is more secure. More monitoring will be more as compared to non-Celt. The content is same, right? So if you want to ask that are they 2 different tests, the test is same. It is basically taken at the more secure venue if you are taking Celt test. Number 1. Second question which I would like to answer is that why it is not acceptable by all the Australian universities. As my colleague said, that it is Department of Home Affairs added LanguageCert Academic test on 7th August. So they have added now Australian universities, they are updating their websites. So Naveed Saab has mentioned on one of the slides that Macquarie or University of Southern Queensland, University of Canberra, University of Melbourne, Charles Sturt University, they have now started accepting. They basically have updated their website. The other universities and institutes are already doing it, and they will very soon be mentioning LanguageCert Academic requirement on their website. So it does not mean that only 5-6 universities, they actually have updated their websites. Other will be doing it as soon as possible, because we are focusing on March intake, and we are working closely with all the universities. So they have updated the requirement on their website, and then we can you can check the requirement and can take LanguageCert Academic test and can meet the deadlines for Feb and March intake. So all universities, because the main government, they have added LanguageCert Academic, so they have no other option. They will be updating their website, and it will be mentioned on their website very soon.
Just to
Sir,
add, as we are talking, the recognition team is working. As we are talking and discussing, somebody in some part of the world is working towards recognition, and as in every month they are updating the universities. In case if you have a preference for a university and you want to know whether that particular university accepts LanguageCert Academic or not, please feel free to write the name in the text. We will get back to you soon.
Excuse me.
I would like to add here that a government home department is a superior than the universities. If the home department is accept that test, any university cannot deny. This is the basic logical reason and legal point. So it's just a matter of updation on the website. So the test is acceptable 100% by all Australian colleges and universities, as well as all type of visas, whether the students are onshore and offshore. So this is the basic point. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would like to ask a very simple question. I will rephrase. In fact, there is a confusion. The people are asking again and again, CERT, non-CERT, online. I would like to make it a sort of clear question. That is Australian Home Office going to accept home-based or non-CERT LanguageCert or not? I will repeat
Sami,
it.
I think you should go ahead. Otherwise, do you want me to answer?
Yeah. No, I can answer. It is very clear that we have been, confirming this to you in this webinar many times already. We have done it. That Australian Department of Home Affairs, they have added LanguageCert Academic, right? For any studies, work visa, or living, immigration, PR, only student has to take LanguageCert Academic. The question here is that I'm removing this confusion, and Naveed Saab asked this as well, that if any student, they have taken LanguageCert Academic CELT, will it be acceptable in Australia or not? So CELT or non-CELT at the center is acceptable by Department of Home Affairs Australia. They will not accept home-based or online LanguageCert Academy.
Right, that's it. It's being asked again and again by the participant, in fact. So it is now clear that we have to go to center for this. Right.
Yes.
And the next thing is, again, Naveed bhai, you are telling us that we can book it very in a short momently we can register it. And there are always two attempts per week as per the previous practice. What is the schedule, weekly schedule or monthly schedule?
One can book the test 48 hours before. That's possibility. Rescheduling is also possible. That has to be 72 hours before the test date. And the test centers depend on the test center near you. So Sami, how many dates are open in a typical test center in your region?
Every week, because the minimum requirement for the center is that they have to open at least 3.5 days in a week. They have to keep their centers open. And as Naveed Saab can confirm, he has, if for example you are in Faisalabad, you are in Gujranwala or any other parts of Pakistan, at our test centers, the dates are easily available. We are increasing the test center network, so a student can book the dates 48 hours before or 24 hours before. Like for example, I received query yesterday, and they said that I want to book LanguageCert exam in Karachi. I in fact was worked with them. I opened the schedule in front of them, and the date was available on very next day. So today student has taken LanguageCert Academic test at one of the center in Karachi. So they booked the test depending that student is prepared or not, but they booked the test 24 hours before, and then they have taken the test today.
Okay,
Over
I
to you,
would, I
Naveed.
would like I would like to add here that being a test center, that we have a multiple dates available, and it's not any hard and fast rules. We are very much flexible. If the number of candidates are increased, we can manage more than 200 candidates a week. So it's inside the LanguageCert, we are very much flexible. It depends on the number of applicants or candidates. If the numbers increase, we can open more slots.
Yeah, depending on the demand, a test center can open new slots as well. So it depends on the demand, and they have ample dates available. Students can easily book their test at their nearest test center. Yes, Mohammad Badr, Anam Rafiq, you have hands.
Well,
Yes, yes, sir, there is
yes,
no
there are
expert teacher in Lahore for teaching language cert ESOL.
Sami, please share the name of trainers whom we have trained. In Lahore, we have many trainers who have experience and who are training for LanguageCert Academic. It would be great if you can share the names and details.
I'm sure there are a number of trainers. Naveed Saab has, in his books, so he will be sharing the names. Naveed Saab, if you want
Yes,
the
yes,
data,
we have academic
Yeah.
material as well to share the trainers, as well as I would like to appreciate all the trainers who would like to appear in exam to gain a practical experience. NSA will provide a free exam vouchers to those candidates. So we really appreciate, and if you people are interested to promote the trainings, LanguageCert trainings in your institute, inshallah, we shall try to contribute and support you regarding the marketing as well.
Very, Sami,
Excuse me, I would like to ask
there is a question. How can we get trainer certification? Sami, we can plan an online TTT in December. Both of us can discuss and invite a lot of new trainers for the training session.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm from Islamabad. I'm already doing PT and IELTS training with EDU Hub Global Islamabad as their official trainer. I'm interested in introducing LanguageCert because mainly the students interested are the ones who find PT really difficult. So do you think that such candidates can become a part of LanguageCert and train from us? Because I'm also interested in the official certification. Are you going to schedule it in December only?
Yes. We will schedule train the trainer. We already have offered more than 6 train the trainer sessions from February 2025 till October 2025. So we will schedule online train the trainer. We also are planning to have face-to-face train the trainer workshops in Pakistan. And inshallah, very soon we will be offering face-to-face. But you can attend online train the trainer, which will obviously be led by my colleague Rashmi. And then you can get your participation certificate. And Naveed Saab, I'm sure, can send some books and teachers guide to you as well. I can provide you, or maybe you can get the link as well. So you will have all the marketing material with you, and then further offer to you, to your students, will be that we will be announcing master classes as well. I'm sure Navisa will talk to you about this, that we will further be guiding your students. Once you have prepared your students and they are taking their test. Before test, they take their test. We can organize master classes online for your students, and then they can get tips and techniques so that they can perform better in their tests.
Thank you. That's helpful. So basically, do we have to stay in touch? Like, or you have
You
my
will,
email, you will
you will,
update.
no. You will get all the information through Naveed sir. He has your details. You registered, so he has your details. We will forward the information to Naveed sir, and Naveed sir then further, provide you the information and registration link.
I just
Okay,
shared
thank
the
you. Thank you.
registration link in a chat box. Please, everyone, fill all the emails available in that chat in the forms. We will share the recordings and PPT and all the materials to the participants, as well as I will reconcile and summarize all the resources. Try to resource in one platform and share to you all to facilitate you people. So please fill the form. And one more thing. Being an NSA, we will issue a certificate to the participants who will participate in this event. So please, the form is mandatory for all the participants.
All right. So I have a question regarding eSoul.
Yes, please.
Ashansa, please.
Yes. So I've been training students for the last 5-6 years for LanguageCert, and I must say that I have had a lot of experience dealing with LanguageCert, speaking especially. So one of the problems that the students have been facing in the recent years, and like the last 2 years especially, is that those students who appear to be really good at their fluency and proficiency, they are getting banned in their tests. Rather than those students who are either weak or who have, lower language proficiency, like they have a level B1 or B1 plus, they're not getting banned. They're getting good scores. Sometimes they're getting 25, sometimes they're getting 30. But however, those students who are impressive or who are efficient or who are really good at their speaking skills, because I have, I mostly keep records of my students' mock tests as well when we conduct them in our premises. So we find that those students are getting banned who are really very good at it. I just want to know what could be the possible reasons for that and how we can avoid students getting banned in speaking tests.
Is he talking about LanguageCert Academic or experience from other tests?
eSoul.
LanguageCert
Online
eSoul.
eSoul.
I mentioned it earlier. I am talking about LanguageCert eSoul.
Okay. See, very difficult to comment on this, and this is very strange that why people are not getting desired score if they are really good at it. Maybe as a trainer, I can simply say a lot of times people do well in classes, but they're not able to perform in the given exam settings. However, this is in this particular test, the candidate is expected to go to the HSTC center. See, the quality of recording, headphones, everything is far better. So I can only say that
It's not with their
the
marks.
candidates will get scores as per their competence. There are no shocks.
I'm not mentioning that the issue is not with their marks or with their scores. The issue is that they're getting malpractice issues. They're getting malpractice emails. I'm talking about those students who are really good at it. The problem is with the Pakistani students especially is that when they go in for a speaking test, the way they speak, I understand that the way they speak is they're just trying to throw off everything at the interlocutor. They're just trying to put it out everything they have in their mind. So yeah, it can give sort of
Sometimes the test experience is overwhelming. Sometimes when a candidate goes for the test, it's so overwhelming that they are not able to perform up to the standards.
Hashad Saab, I can add a few things in this, that as we mentioned that we have human interaction. So once, if any student, they have received this email that there was some suspicious activity which the examiner has seen, and whenever we are sending this email that you are banned on the system and we will not be providing you result due to some suspicious activities, They're obviously more than one examiner. They have seen all the evidences before sending the email to student. And my advice, even my team's advice, is to please submit appeals. If they think that they were not involved in any suspicious activity, I'm sure if, for example, were contacted by, for example, 10 students and they have received this email that they were involved in malpractice, how many were submitted, appeals? Very few. Even, for example, in Pakistan, if 300 students, they have received this email that they, due to some suspicious activity, they were banned or, they will not be receiving result. Only 3 students out of 300, only 3 students submitted appeals. Why
Yes,
they are not
I would like
submitting
to.
appeals?
I would like to interrupt you at this point because the problem is that the response on the appeal time is too long for the students, and the students are usually just going to miss out on their intake. So the best option that they take is, they try to retake the test, so they don't go in for the appeal, or they just change the test from LanguageCert to some other test. So that is one of the reasons.
No. Appeal time.
I'm so sorry to intervene. I'm so sorry. See, we are discussing LanguageCert Academic. I'll appreciate if there are more questions around LanguageCert Academic test.
Sure.
In case if you have queries around ESOL, Sami, let's do one thing: sit with them
But yeah,
separately and do the doubt clarification.
Can I just sum up the question of Hasham bhai?
Yeah.
Can I just within a few seconds?
Yes, please.
Naveed bhai, can I add something
Yes,
to
please.
Hasham?
Yes, please. But
Hasham bhai,
we already informed that we are just discussing LanguageCert Academic. So please try to finish it quickly.
Yes,
Yes,
because
sir.
we will have a separate session for ESOL exam, and Sami, we will talk more about security. Today
actually,
our focus was around Australia acceptance.
I assume that answer should be served right. So that's it. Hasham bhai, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hasham? Okay, Hasham bhai, you have asked exactly the reason why they are being banned. I would like to I just want to sum up that thing. Your facial gestures, your body language, and the third one you mentioned already, that when your student is going to narrate like some lesson, he is uttering out. So these are only 3 parameters. If you are going to recover them, there will be less ban and other malpractice issues. This is only the thing. These 3 things:
thank you,
facial
sir.
gestures, body
Thank you
language,
very much.
and
Thank you. Yes, I think the time is enough, so we should close the session. Thank you very much to all the participants. I share the link for all agents and trainers, and as well as I share my mobile number. If you people cannot access the form, please just text me on my WhatsApp. Only my WhatsApp is accessible. So please send me a message on my WhatsApp. I will share the link to you people. Thank you very much to all the participants and my colleagues from the LanguageCert, and inshallah we shall try to promote the LanguageCert as well. The one and the basic last part is, I am very much confident, and you people will feel that a LanguageCert is comparatively easy to pass for your candidate, and is definitely is a target of every business organization. So inshallah we will prove it shortly. Thank you very much for all the participants. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Naveed.
Have a
Thank
nice
you so much.
evening.
Thank you,
Have a
everybody.
nice evening.
Thank you,
God
sir.
bless. Okay, nice
Thank you,
evening.
God.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy,
Thank you, sir.
enjoy the weekend.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Assalamu alaikum, Naveed bhai.
Thank you. सर मेरा क्वेश्चन था आपसे, अगर आप टाइम है तो।
जी करें बात प्लीज।
सर मैं थोड़ा न्यूजीलैंड के हवाले से इन्फॉर्मेशन लेना चाह रहा हूँ कि मैंने वहाँ अप्लाई करना है और मुझे LanguageCert C1 एक्सपर्ट ई-सोल चाहिए, तो क्या जो सेल्ट है एंड सेंटर बेस है इसमें कोई डिफरेंस है? मैं कोई भी कर सकता हूँ, नो प्रॉब्लम? टीचिंग लाइसेंस के लिए?
जी हाँ जी, दोनों कर सकते हैं, सेम ही है।
चलिए सर, बहुत शुक्रिया सर, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू जी वालेकुम सलाम।